Welcome, Sat Sri Akal, to the Love, Laugh, Live show with the gorgeous Devinder Ubi and myself, Gurdial Garcha.
So प्यार करो हंसो ते जुग जुग जियो वाला show. So show शुरू करने तो पहला सी कहना है. So what this show is about is how do we love with passion, how do we laugh with pleasure, and how do we live with peace.
So ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰੋ ਸਾਰੇ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਹੱਸੋ ਦਿਲ ਭਰ ਕੇ and ਜਿਓ ਸ਼ਾਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ.
So my name is Devinder Ruby. I'm a life and spiritual coach, and sitting next to me is my beautiful co-host.
And my name is Gurdial Garcha, and I'm an empowerment and resilience coach. So Dav, what are we going to be discussing today?
So what we're going to be discussing today is about the recent event we had a couple of weeks ago, and how we celebrated and honoured very special artists and performers and what they all have in common.
So some of you may have even come to the event. It was on the 16th of September. It was a Love, Laugh, Live fundraising event along with RYA, the Ramgarhia Youth Association in East Africa. It was all to do with raising funds for water in the villages in Kenya, and that was our main theme.
So the purpose of this event, obviously we thought it was about raising funds, but actually there's something far more important than that as well. It's about raising awareness that it doesn't matter what age, what your circumstances, it shouldn't prevent you, stop you from pursuing your dreams, your passions, your art, your innate gifts. So that's another reason we did this event. And wanted to have these certain celebrities, artists, to be an inspiration to the world.
So you may understand or even realise that Love, Laugh, Live, which is who we are, our whole theme is around, raising people's vibration, getting people to understand that we are all about humanity through love, laugh and live. It doesn't matter where you are in your life, and it's about embracing no matter what your age is, and this is what we're going to talk more and more about. And it's also about having deep, meaningful relationships with your family, your friends and anybody else, and having a life that's actually truly worth celebrating. And I think that's the most important thing about what we do here.
And but like we said, love, laugh and live. So Gina had whatever's our situation, but we want to understand through this event and the people that came that we want to love, laugh and live and not be miserable and be scared and live. So that's what love, laugh and live is all about. So actually we're going to just have a brief discussion about some of the artists that came. Just give you like a very small bio on all of them, because if we decide to discuss everything about them, it's going to take a couple of few episodes, isn't it? So we're going to talk about the first artist that came to the event, and he was a super legend called Didar Singh Pardesi. He's actually 86 years old and still singing strong and very passionate about his love for music. And he actually started singing at the age of 5. He used to sing shabads and bhajans. And then he's got so many achievements. I wish I could discuss more about him. Maybe on one of the shows we should do that. Just discuss it.
Down the line.
And so, but he was known as Muhammad Rafi of East Africa, because actually Muhammad Rafi, he actually heard him sing his Chaudhry Ka Chand, the most beautiful song, and he gave him the title. He's actually said to the dancing that you are the Muhammad Rafi of East Africa. So that's how we all know him as. And like you said, also he's so brilliant with his singing, his passion, but he's also known for being a most brilliant teacher. And we actually had some of his students that came to the event. Even my husband is one of his students, and he was a very strict teacher. But in Africa, that was known to be, teachers meant to be very strict. But he's very passionate about his teaching career as well.
So not only that, we were very honoured to have not only Didar Singh Pardesi performing his beautiful songs, but his son and his grandson were there as part of the group. So that was beautiful, 3 generations performing together. I mean, that's was such
very unique.
A beautiful
we don't
thing.
see that,
very,
do we?
very unique.
Yeah.
I had the privilege and the honour of seeing Didar Singh Pardesi sing in Coventry, and I don't know if there's anybody out there who might have seen him, and it was in 1975 that he performed just I think it was in a secondary school, and that was when I, absolutely fell in love with his music. And the song that I remember mostly about, on that night was his song Aaja Goriye, which we're going to do a little rendition on. So yeah, shall we start?
You start, okay.
So it's Giya Pippalan the Gala Samajava Gapama Vich Aaja Goriye, Aaja Goriye, Aaja ni Gori Gori Aaja, Aaja ni Chori Chori Aaja.
We did it.
We love that music. We did actually get told off. We decided to sing that live on a radio station, and we kind of shouldn't have, but we had a lot of fun doing it.
We did, but I was so grateful for the dancing producer to sing that at our event, and got all the audience going. It doesn't matter what age they were, Siane or Chote Chote. I don't know, something about his voice. He really, it's very nostalgic. It's nostalgic. And it's very therapeutic in the sense because it allowed us to connect. It's all about connection. His music brings connection to our memories, to the loved ones, to everything, and it's connection just to feeling alive again. That's what Love, Laugh and Live is about. It made people live again in that loving sort of energy.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it was, you know, to know, I mean, we invited him, but we never actually realised he would be singing for us. And for me, that was a real dream come true. It was amazing.
It was a wonderful experience.
Wonderful experience. And the beautiful thing was that everybody so enjoyed him being there. And I don't think even he realised what a massive connection he made with the audience. And I think that was one of the unique things about this event.
I think he was taken back to see all of most of his students there. I think he's done so many performances. Look, he's 86 years old, he didn't expect his students to all be there and honour his, because he's very passionate about his teaching career. You know,
and that was just, it was something that just kind of evolved, and I think that was the most beautiful part of the event, having that kind of connection for him. So the next person we're going to mention is this amazing gentleman called Mr. Malkeeth Ruprai. So he's another inspirational gentleman, over again the age of 60. Now he travels solo in a car called Malaika, which means angel. He left London, went through 30 countries, went, you know, and including Africa, went all around Africa on his own, completely on his own, completely isolated, made his own food, and also not forgetting you've got all those wild animals in Africa. And he did it on his own, and for me that's just a crazy thing to do, and to me that's another level of being courageous and brave. And he did it, and such an inspirational gentleman. But you even got to meet him, didn't you?
I did. When he's coming to the last few days of his 8 months solo overlanding Africa, and you can actually see all his information if you go on social media and Facebook. Just click onto Overlanding Africa, and the last 2 days I was there on holiday. And so I got to meet him, because actually we were both flying back. It was 29th of June, we were both flying back to UK, and got to see him on the 28th of June, and he took me to his birth town. It's called Tika, and where he showed where he used to go to school, the Gurdwara he went to, his house where he was born, and you know, the waterfall, the famous Tika waterfall where they used to jump in and have this swim with their friends. It was a wonderful experience, especially the pineapple plantation. I'd never seen that before. It's the most wonderful experience I had. So I was lucky to get that, you know, be there from the end of his journey of his 8 months. You know, go to 30 countries. It's an amazing thing, being in that wild environment on his own with this car which he called Malaika, which means angel. So it's just him and Malaika, and just being in that natural environment. And actually, he's very inspiring, but who else I find inspiring? His wife, you know. His wife supported him through the whole thing. And all she said to him, you know, I don't care what you do, you're coming home back in 8 months. And, and she was there, and I find her very, very inspirational as well, his wife and the family. And yeah, he's a legend, he's a living legend now that everybody knows him throughout the world. So it's great to have him at the event. So another someone we can take so much knowledge and wisdom and courage just looking at them and listening to their stories.
And don't forget, this is one of my favourite saying, that behind every great man there is an even greater woman.
Absolutely.
So obviously with the support of his wife, he felt I'm assuming, courageous enough and brave enough to do that, knowing that she was always there in the background supporting him, doing what he wanted to do. And for me, that is even more inspiring, not as well as the whole of the journey that it took place. Our next amazing guest was Mr. Jasjit Shergill. Now, he, again, is over the age of 60, kind of 65, that kind of age, and he is a model. Now, that is quite unheard of within our community society, but he had such a presence about him and the stature. You could tell that he was a model, and he's somebody that has modelled all over the world, and he's a Sardar, with a proper Sardar, proper Sikh, and he was just amazing to look at, and he definitely stood out from the crowd, and he was very proud of the clothes that he was wearing, and it was so good to see somebody dressed in that way, and celebrating that it doesn't matter that I'm over this age, I still want to look good in the clothes that I'm wearing, all the way down to, starting from his bug, his turban, all the way down to his shoes. But not only that, through the event that we had, we actually wanted our guests to make a special effort, especially the men, because we know that the women always make a massive effort when it comes to going out. But the lovely gentlemen that came to the event, they also wore their bow ties, and they just stood out, and it just made the event so much more, I don't know, I think it felt so much more prestigious. But obviously, going back to Jasjit Shergill, he was just amazing to look at. And I think if more people allowed themselves to really express themselves through their clothes, it would just be brilliant.
I think he sent a strong message that he wasn't affected by people's judgments.
Definitely.
He didn't have that fear in him. He did what made him feel unique in himself. And that's the energy you're sending out. So other people could say, well, if you can do it, I can do it. And not fear people's judgments. Because most of the time we're thinking, I'm not going to wear this. Look, and he's going to ridicule me about Hasnaya. But he ignored that completely. And I think that's a beautiful thing to do.
Yeah, and he was just being himself, just being the way he was, dressed in the way he was. He was just so inspiring. And to look at, and he wore a pink suit, wasn't it? I'm sure.
I think he changed twice.
Like a baby
I
pink.
think
I don't remember
him
changing, but he looked amazing.
He did.
Yeah, definitely.
So another guest we're going to talk about is a lady, beautiful lady. Her name is Sapna Kaur, and you can tell her persona was so beautiful and so pure.
Quite humble.
So her beauty was coming from within, and she actually won this year in 2023 an award for Miss Elegance 2023 and Miss Photogenic. And I don't want to go too much into it. Regardless of what the circumstances, what her challenges were, she still pursued her dream, and she's become an inspirational lady to most of us. That it doesn't matter ki ho raha in your family, whatever. Her beauty just was radiating out. And we thought she's worth celebrating.
Definitely. And this is something that we wanted to mention on this show, that unfortunately, I don't know the reason why, obviously it's a generational thing, that women don't necessarily celebrate each other as much as we would like. And what we're saying is that she was an inspiration for us. She was the only lady that we found. I mean, there were other ladies there that we found inspiring, but for her to go through the circumstances that she did and to still have achieved this accolade this year was just absolutely phenomenal. But what we're saying is that we just feel that more women should celebrate each other's achievements rather than being on the sidelines and thinking about their own insecurities or that I'm not good enough for them, but just celebrate whatever somebody's doing, especially if it's women, because I feel like they need that support so much more. Especially if you're the family, you're the friends, colleagues, just celebrate them for what they're doing. And maybe that will give you the courage for you to pursue a dream that you have, and those people will support you in the same way.
And that's what we talk about on our show so often, that when you're celebrating somebody else's success, you're actually celebrating for yourself, because we're always going to that deeper understanding. There's no one else. Everyone's interconnected. But to see the nuksan soch there, it comes back to you. So be conscious and celebrate everybody else's success, and then it will come back to you, and you will know it happens the more you do it. So she's a beautiful lady, and we're so thankful that she came. and she's very shy, timid lady.
Sapna ko.
Sapna, and she's like
Hi.
dream. So she pursued her dream, having a name Sapna as well. So it's a beautiful name she's got as well.
Yeah.
So the next person is a very inspiring person. His name is Manjeet Egan, and he's a head coach of a hockey club called the Balfour Tigers, and they're always there, sort of like helping youngsters or even young teenagers to pursue their dreams about their health and well-being and mental state and everything. So
through
it's so
sport,
through sport. And sport is another way of connecting families together. And it's about unity and respect for each other, regardless of what your background is. They bring everyone together, and he obviously he's got a big role he plays in this as a head coach. And so what he did, something very amazingly this year, he's over the 60s. He won the gold medal in Spain for the European Championship in hockey. So we thought, wow, this is amazing. So it's just saying that age shouldn't stop you from achieving anything, So I'm sure they'll carry on 60s, 70s. And it just shows you that when you're really passionate about something, the gold medal is always there. So that was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and the most important part of this is that he was part of a team, and uplifting other people as well as doing something just for yourself is absolutely inspirational. But through sport, we know the positive effects of sport. It's your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, and also being part of a team, knowing that you're all kind of being there for each other.
Yeah.
It is so, so important. So, if there is anybody out there that would like to be part of a team and to get that feeling of, achievement and knowing that you're doing it as a team, it can be so, so inspiring, not just for you, but for the team that you belong to. But to be over the age of 60 and to have achieved that accolade, to be winning a hockey, award in Europe, I mean, that is just something that's absolutely phenomenal. And we just want to, give him a big cheer and say, well done.
Yeah, it's definitely worth celebrating, and he left a legacy for his, many generations to come. And all of these artists, it's amazing what the future generation is going to look back and think, wow, we've had these amazing people in our lives. Something we don't appreciate at the time, and this is what the event we want to do. It's like, appreciate it now. It's only this present moment we can really cultivate the greatness, and these people are like I said, they're there to inspire us. They're like all of them are like our teachers and gurus, that they're helping us to better ourselves and pursue our dreams and passions.
And the most important thing, going back to the people that we've just spoken about, that age should never ever limit you from what you really want to do. And this was a common thing that we found out, as going through our event, that we've got these amazing people, and we brought them together, and we just wanted to celebrate their life and what they've achieved so far. So we're not saying, oh well, that's it, it's done now. So whatever it is, it doesn't matter. If you feel like you've got this burning passion to do something and you still haven't done it, and you think, oh well, maybe I should or shouldn't, just go for it, see what you can do. Anyway, going to the next group of people. They are called the teenagers, and it's very important to say it like that. Teenagers. So these three gentlemen are, again, all over the age of 60. They're a new band. They are very passionate about their music. So this magical trio, led by Amarjit Sidhu, Ajender Kang and Naresh Patel, come from a strong musical heritage. Chirag Pachan, I'm sure there's people out there who remember them, Apna Sangeet, and combined, they represent 150 years in the music industry. They were early pioneers who embedded Hindi and Punjabi in the UK. They have now united, combining their talent to form the teenagers, and you know how to say that.
Teenagers. So what I think, it's very cleverly thought of this, the name for the band, and teen, obviously on about 3, and if we think about the 3 ages that we have just in a human lifespan, like you start from the child, you know, the child version of you, and then you have the adult, then the old age. So what they were representing, it doesn't matter what age you're in, you can still love, laugh, and live, and pursue your dreams and passions. There should be nothing stopping you. And this is what I thought is so cleverly thought of, this name, and being obviously the three of them as well, the three amazing artists, and they got so much talent, so much passion, you know, and that was absolutely, if you were actually there at the event, everybody was on the dance floor and just feeling, you know, the depth of their love for their music. And that's what happens. It happens naturally. You don't need to force anyone. People just radiated towards that. And this is the magic when you're doing something dilo kuch kar rahe hai na, from your heart and soul. And this has a very healing impact on people around there. Suddenly they forget about their stories, their drama, their crisis. All of a sudden they feel alive again. And this is what the teenagers did, that you can feel like a teenager, doesn't matter what age you are. And they were doing something so out of the ordinary that, you know, it doesn't mean that you come a certain age, you've got to start singing certain type of songs. They were mixing all the songs, from Brane songs, the new songs. It was a wonderful mixture, a medley of so many beautiful rhythm tunes and the acts they were doing. This is what we thought was very inspiring, and this is what the world out there need to see, and they can feel that within themselves, that, you know, it doesn't matter I've gone past that certain age, I can still feel that young version, the youthness I was feeling. It can be right here in this present moment. And the dancing did that as well. He made people feel the youthness in there, going back to nostalgic memories. It's just a wonderful combination of perfect artists come together to give the same message, that we are here to enjoy the present moment now, and that inner version child has, they said they did it inner child, and it has no age, there's no beginning, no end. It's always eternal, and that's what we were connecting to.
So we found all of these artists, as well as the others that were there, so inspiring. So not only collectively, but also individually. And the energy that was present at the time during our event, we can't even understand it ourselves, because people were so inspired by the way it all kind of worked out, and the way it just grew. And people were there, and the happiness, the connection that everybody made was completely different to any other event that they've ever been to. And even when we're looking back at it now, we can't understand what actually happened during that event, but there must have been something so deep on a subconscious level where people felt like, you know, maybe there is something I can still pursue. You know, maybe, you know, at the age of 45, 50, oh, I should give up on whatever it is that I'd like to do. But then if you've got somebody standing in front of you with his son, with his grandson, and I'm talking about the Darsing Padisi here, at the age of 86, showing you that age is not a limit. You know, you can do what you want to do, and it doesn't have to stop you. Sometimes you are going to get naysayers, and we said that we were going to mention these. There's always going to be people who say, you know what, you need to just slow down. Maybe this is something you should stop doing. But what we forget, and I think this is the most important thing, when we stop doing things which we're really passionate about, that's when life stops working for us. That's when everything starts to, you know, you don't feel the vibe in yourself.
You start spiraling down
yeah.
into all these depression and mental health issues and physical symptoms, and because that is actually what looks wrong, this physical symptoms and the depression and the panic attack. But that's just usually the body's trying to say to us, you're not pursuing your dream, your passion. It's like a message knocking on the door, you know, wake up, wake up. As soon as you start pursuing your dreams and passions, all of a sudden those symptoms subside. So
and it's almost like, it's like an awakening. And we were also talking about you know, what we do, and again, you know, like all of these artists, they've still got their families, they're still pursuing their passion, and they're doing everything they can within their lifestyle.
They still have to play their other roles.
Sure. And they're just kind of managing to fit it in. And sometimes I think we stop ourselves from doing what we really want, because we put other people ahead of ourselves, thinking that, you know what, I can't do this because my responsibility is there and there and there. But these people who came, they showed us, they were a real life example of, you can have your cake and you can eat it.
Yeah.
You can still be a family person, be an individual, be part of the community, apart from the, part of the Gurdwara, the Mandir, mosque, whichever religious organisation you might be part of, or not. But you can still pursue your passion. And yes, we understand there are always going to be challenges, but it does not mean that you have to give up. You can manage all of them, but sometimes it definitely will be difficult to start off with, but slowly over time people actually respect you because
just to your lifestyle. But what we're doing exactly the same as them. We're very passionate about what we do in our coaching career, in our TV and radio and shows, even when we're doing events. But we don't completely neglect our family, like they don't neglect their family. We just have somehow adjust and compromise and work with each other. That doesn't mean that because you're pursuing your dream, your passion, your art, it doesn't mean that you just do one and ignore the other. We can sort of like implement it all together, integrate it in such a way that we can have a balance, and that's where it all works. This creates harmony. The disharmony comes when we just focusing on one thing and they think, I haven't got time for them now. But we're just showing that this world is about that you can do everything. You can look after your people or your family and pursue your dreams. And also there were other artists, amazing artists at our event, who were great singers, but they also were there to, I suppose, be inspired by these legends. So they too will be known as legends soon, very soon, because they've been in that environment, in their energy, in their field, so they will take on this new role and pursuing their dreams and passion on another level altogether.
Yeah, because they're also going to be shown that, there is no limit. Yeah. Because if this person at the age of 86, Didar Singh Pardesi, and this model who's over 60, and Malkeet Rupra who's gone, to so many countries and travelled on his own, then whatever I'm doing, it's nowhere near that. So I know I can continue doing what I'm doing, and age should not be something that stops me. And again, if you're passionate about something, it's almost like you've got a light bulb inside you. That is what is making you feel happy, not just for yourself, but all the people around you are going to be receiving that. It's like jyot, isn't it? It's like you're spreading so much happiness because you are so happy in yourself doing something that you're so passionate about. But again, it is about pursuing it and believing in yourself and really going for it, and not allowing people who say, just pack that in now. You're at a certain age, be on ek kam nahi karna chahiye,
sajda nahi aega,
sajda nahi aega, log ki kahoge, and things like that. But so that's the most important part.
I think another thing they had in common, they looked very good for their age.
Yeah.
Why didn't they not look their age? Because when you're very passionate and very happy about what you're doing, you are so, your body,
you're radiating, aren't you?
You're filled with so much of this, vibrant energy that keeps you young. It slows down your aging.
Yeah.
So
that's what we think about ourselves as well. We do this and we have so much fun. We think we must be just getting younger and younger.
You know what it is? Actually, it's funny because some friends, even my kids, say they look at my my old pictures. And they said, Mummy, you look like a real proper auntie there.
Yeah, especially in the olden days, you had the big glasses. Do you remember? The proper big glasses that everybody used to wear. That aged you by, you look like Deirdre in Coronation Street.
No, it's because at that age, when my babies, so tiny, I was so engrossed in just taking care of them, I didn't have time to think about what I was passionate about. So it does age you, so you're thinking more you're a responsible person now, you got to fulfill your duties, and you feel some sort of heaviness, a seriousness that comes in your life, and sort of suddenly you're not connecting with that inner child. So when you're not connecting with the inner child, you seem to age and you look older. And now people say to me, well, how come you look so different now than you used to? Because now I'm connecting with the inner child. Inner child is all about creativity, imagination. When in that place imagining and following those dreams, it does slow your aging down.
It's like lighting a fire inside you. Yeah. It's just kind of engulfs and you just feel alive all of a sudden. And I think that's the energy that was emitted during the event. Yeah. People just felt, no matter what their age was, they felt young. They felt like they were somewhere where no matter what their age was, it was being celebrated. Whereas I think sometimes people go to events, but they just feel like it's a duty. There's a heaviness there. And I think at this event, and I'm not blowing our trumpet, I'm just saying, I'm talking about the energy that was in the room. Yeah. People felt like, you know what? Everybody who's on the stage, who are doing things, who are inspiring people, it is showing me as a person of whatever age I'm, 30, 40, 50, 60, that the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
There is no age. You know, follow what you really enjoy doing, travel, and, you know, make your life as colourful and as fun, as joyful as you want it to be. And this again is going back to why Love, Laugh, Live ladies exist.
There is some videos we've seen, somebody's taken them, obviously my husband and his friends, and they sing Dancing to the Brown Monday. It looks so good. You know what? They were so happy. They're in the element.
They thought they were at the disco.
Yeah, but you know what? The greatest thing about this whole thing was, like, they didn't care who was looking, ki ho raha. They just felt so young and energized, and it doesn't matter what kind of song it was. They were just singing and dancing to that rhythm, to the song. It was absolutely amazing. This is the power of, you know, connecting to your passion and dreams and art. It really makes you feel alive. Yeah.
So now,
shall we do this, really?
Yeah, we've got a short play. We hope you love our characters, which are Lajo, and Pammi.
Yeah.
Pammi is like the traditional older sister-in-law, and Lajo is the younger version, and, you know, who's got a real gust for life, and Pammi's kind of a little bit stale and feels like, you know, life is just not going to be, you know, very exciting for her anymore. So that's just giving you a little bit of a background. Lajo's at the age of 45, and I'm probably about, I don't know, 55, 60.
It's coming to 60.
Coming to 60. So that's just a little bit of the background information. So this is an example of what we're talking about in terms of passion and doing what you really want to do and love. Okay, so should we start then? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now I'm going to go into the Lajo
and I'm mindset. Lajo mindset. Okay, but I can relate to Lajo quite a bit. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to be Lajo for now. So anyway. Hi Pammi, किधर तुसी ठीक है?
हाँ ठीक है, तुसी किधर ठीक है?
हाँ मैं ठीक है. You know what? I want to share करना चाहती हूँ थोड़े ना. अच्छा. I'm so excited about this, but I can't hold it in anymore, and I want to share something with you. अच्छा. I've decided, Pammi, that I want to go back to uni. But I know January मैंने जगह मिल जाएगी, and I want to go back and do a degree in art, something I always wanted to do. मैंने बहुत जी करता करना. You know, सच्ची मैं I just can't stop thinking about it. मैं सुबह उठती हूँ, मैं नींद नहीं आती, मैं जो मैं खाती हूँ, I just मैं एने अंदर you know जोश चढ़ा हुआ है ना, I want to do this now.
लाजो ये मैनू नहीं चंगा लगता. ਹੁਣ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ तेरी उम्र है कॉलेज जान दी, यूनिवर्सिटी जान दी? एक मिनट ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਤੇਰੀ ਰੂਹ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਤੇਰੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਜੋਸ਼ ਚੜਿਆ ਪਿਆ ਆ, ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ, ਕੋਈ ਅੱਗ ਲੱਗੀ ਪਈ ਹੋਣੀ ਆ, ਪਰ ਇਹ ਉਮਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਹਲੇ ਵਿਆਹਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਆ, ਹਨਾ? ਹੁਣ ਬਹੁਤ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਲਿਆ, ਸਕੂਲੇ ਜਾਏਂਗੀਆਂ, ਕਾਲਜ ਜਾਏਂਗੀਆਂ, ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਜਾਏਂਗੀਆਂ।
ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਇੰਨੇ ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਆ।
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ, ਮੈਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤੇਰੀ ਆਗਿਆ, ਇਹ ਥੋੜੀ ਜੋਸ਼ ਇਹ ਬੁਝਾਉਣੀ ਆ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਹ ਟਾਈਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ। ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਤੇਰੀਆਂ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀਆਂ ਆ, ਘਰ ਵੀ ਸੰਭਾਲਣਾ, ਨਿਆਣਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਚਿਗਰਾ ਕਰ, ਨਿਆਣੇ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਸੰਭਾਲਣਾ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਦੇਖਭਾਲ ਕਰਨੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਆ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਸੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਵਾਬ ਆਊਗਾ, ਪਰ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਹਾਲਤ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਹੁਣ, I cannot stop this. ਸੱਚੀ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਜੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਨਾ ਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ, ਮੈਂ ਇੰਨੇ ਸਮਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅੰਦਰਲੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੇਰੀ ਖੁਆਇਸ਼ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਮੈਂ ਦਬੀ ਹੋਈ ਸੀਗੀ, ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਦਬ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੀ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੀ ਪਊਗਾ, ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਇਹ 'ਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਝ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੇਗਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜੀਣ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਜੀਊਂਗੀ, ਹੱਸੂੰਗੀ, ਮੇਰੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ, ਮੇਰੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੋਣਗੇ। You know, I know ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ, ਕਿੰਨੇ ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਵਿਆਹ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਪਰ ਕੀ ਸੀਗਾ ਇਕਨੋਮਿਕਸ, ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਉਹੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ, ਮੇਰੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਤੂੰ ਆ ਕਰ, ਤੈਨੂੰ ਅੱਛੀ ਨੌਕਰੀ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ, but it's just something I did ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਹ ਖੁਸ਼ ਰਹਿਣਗੇ ਐਂਡ ਲੁਕਸ ਲਾਈਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਇਫ ਆਈ ਉਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਓਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਆਰਟ ਦੀ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਨੋਬਡੀ ਵੁੱਡ ਹੈਵ ਅੰਡਰਸਟੂਡ ਉਦੋਂ ਮੇਰੀ ਹਿੰਮਤ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਇੰਨਾ
ਬਹੁਤ ਭੋਲੀ ਭਾਲੀ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਨਿੱਕੀ ਜਿਹੀ
ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਡਰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਉਦੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਅੰਦਰ ਮੇਰਾ ਇੰਨੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਆਈ ਨੀਡ ਟੂ ਡੂ ਦਿਸ ਉਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਔਖੇ ਮੈਂ ਡਰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਮੰਮੀ ਡੈਡੀ ਦੇ ਮੂਹਰੇ ਮੈਂ ਕੁਝ ਕਹਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਮੇਰੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਵੱਡੇ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਦੇ ਸੈਲਫ ਰਿਲਾਇੰਟ ਯੂ ਨੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰੋਕਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਡਰਦੀ ਸੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫਿਕਰ ਸੀਗਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਾਰੇ ਰੋਕਣਗੇ ਉਹ ਆਈ ਨਿਊ ਦੇ ਵੁੱਡ ਹੈਵ ਡਨ ਇਟ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਕੁਝ ਕਿਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਰੋਕਣਾ ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਆਮ ਰੈਡੀ ਟੂ ਪਰਸਿਊ ਮਾਈ ਡ੍ਰੀਮ
ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਹੋਰ ਗੱਲ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਸੋਚੋ 45 ਦੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਏ 50 ਦੀ ਹੋ ਚੱਲੀ ਆ ਧੌਲੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਆਏ ਪਏ ਆ
ਇਹ ਧੌਲੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਹਾਈਲਾਈਟਸ ਨੇ ਤੂੰ ਧੌਲੇ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਆ
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਧੌਲੇ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਥੋੜਾ ਦੱਸ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਪਤਾ ਹਾਈਲਾਈਟ ਦਾ
ਹਾਈਲਾਈਟ
ਚਲੋ ਐਨੀਵੇ ਹੁਣ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਇੱਕ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਕਰ ਹਟੀ ਆ ਇਕਨੋਮਿਕਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਨੌਕਰੀ ਮਿਲ ਗਈ ਜੌਬ ਮਿਲ ਗਈ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ 8 ਡਿਗਰੀ ਦੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ ਉਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਕੀ ਆ ਹੁਣ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਕਰ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਚਾਰ ਪਾਉਣਾ
चार पाना हाँ जी मैं चार पाना बिकॉज बहुत स्वाद होगा
चलो तुसी दसो पहले मैनू जे करनी सी डिग्री यही करनी सी 10 साल पहला कर लेंदे
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਸੀ ਉਦੋਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਮੰਮੀ ਡੈਡ ਨੇ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਸੀ ਤੂੰ ਕੀ ਪੈਸੇ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਮਾਉਂਗੀ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਨੌਕਰੀ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ ਮੈਂ ਹਿੰਮਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿਣ ਦੀ ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਜ਼ਤ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਦੇ ਚੀਜ਼ ਰੋਕੂੰਗੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਆਈ ਅੰਡਰਸਟੈਂਡ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਦਿਲ ਦੀ ਖੁਆਇਸ਼ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਆਈ ਡੋਂਟ ਵਾਂਟ ਟੂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅੰਦਰ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੈਂ ਖੁਆਇਸ਼ ਮੈਂ ਦਬੀ ਰੱਖਾਂ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਮੈਂ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਦਬੂੰਗੀ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹੂੰਗੀ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਖੁਸ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿਣਗੇ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਮਮ ਦੀ ਉਦਾਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਹੋਊਗੀ
ਪਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਇੰਨੇ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਪ੍ਰਾਹੁਣਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਘਰ-ਬਾਰ ਸਾਰਾ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਖਾ ਲਿਆ ਪੀ ਲਿਆ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਕੀ ਲੋੜ ਪਈ ਹੈ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਜਾਣ ਦੀ
ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਆਮ ਬੋਰਡ ਮੈਂ ਸੱਚੀ ਜੋ ਮੈਂ ਘਰ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਲੋਕ I've done all the ਮੇਰੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ give them undivided attention I neglected my ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਖੁਆਇਸ਼ ਮੇਰੇ ਸੁਪਨੇ I gave them undivided attention husband he's busy oh ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੈ ਆਪਦੇ ਕੰਮ 'ਚ he's working every day you know and when he's at home he's always got something he's doing what he's happy about so why can't I do it ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਸ਼ੌਂਕ ਹੈਗਾ and I don't want to live rest of my life to bury my dream because I know I came into this world to pursue art. Art is something ਮੇਰੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ is something ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਨਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਨ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਮੇਰੇ ਦਿਲ 'ਚ ਹੋਰ ਪਿਆਰ ਵੱਧਦਾ ਹੈ I want to do something that I know ਇਹ 'ਚ ਕੋਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਪਰ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੋਗਾ
ਘਰੇ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਇੰਨੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਕੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਕੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਰੱਬ ਨੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁਛ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਣੀ ਨਾਲੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫਿਕਰ ਆ ਵੀ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਵਿਗੜ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਆ ਹਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਤੂੰ ਕੁੜੀ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਥੋੜੀ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਉਧਰ ਨੂੰ ਏਜ ਤੇਰੀ ਵਧੀ ਹੋਆ ਪਰ ਫੇਰ ਵੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫਿਕਰ ਆ ਵੀ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਕੋਈ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਸ਼ਾਰਟੀ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਵੇਲੇ ਘਰ ਆਉਣਾ ਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਕਰ ਹੀ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਆ ਇਹ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ
It's a part time and yes I don't mind ਮੈਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ I would like to make some new friends I like making new friends I mean it doesn't mean you know I don't know what's going to happen
ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇਰੀ friend
you know what I mean you know I want to go out okay there'll be times you know okay you get togethers parties Christmas ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੀ ਆ but I understand my responsibility right now ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ ਇਹ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ no at the moment I'm so passionate about my art ਇਹ my number one ਮੇਰੀ priority ਆ and I know ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਮੈਂ ਕਰੂੰਗੀ ਇਹ 'ਚ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਿਹਤ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਵੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਮੇਰੇ mental health ਵਾਸਤੇ ਵੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ if I don't do it if I carry on ਜਿੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ I knew I'm going to spiral down I'm going to feel miserable I'm going to be sad I'm going to be unhappy and ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਦੁਖੀ ਰਹਾਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਉਮਰ
ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਪਰ ਲੋਕ ਕੀ ਕਹੋਗੇ ਇਸ ਉਮਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਇਹ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ ਕੌਣ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਵੀ ਲੋਕ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛੂਗੇ ਵੀ ਤੇਰੀ ਹੁਣ ਦਰਾਣੀ ਹੁਣ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਜਾਣ ਲੱਗ ਪਈ ਆ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਬਰਾਬਰ ਦੇ ਆ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਵਿਆਹੁਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਆ ਹੁਣ ਉਹ ਸ਼ੌਂਕ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਉੱਠਿਆ ਆ
ਲੋਕ ਅਮੀ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਰਵਾਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਲੋਕ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਗੇ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਲੋਕ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਆਪਦੇ ਬਿਹਾਈਂਡ ਦੇ ਡੋਰਸ ਦੇ ਡੂਇੰਗ ਵਾਟ ਦੇ ਹੈਪੀ ਵਿਦ ਇਹ ਰੱਬ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਗਿਫਟ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ ਮੇਰੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਰੱਬ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲਾਈਫ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ ਆਈ ਫੀਲ ਹੁਣ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਹਿੰਮਤ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਬੋਲਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਆਈ ਕੁਡ ਨੈਵਰ ਟਾਕ ਲਾਈਕ ਦਿਸ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ 20 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਬੋਲ ਸਕਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੋਲਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਡਿਸਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਆਮ ਸਪੀਕਿੰਗ ਲਾਈਕ ਦਿਸ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅੰਦਰ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਦਬੀ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਨਰ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਇਟਸ ਨਥਿੰਗ ਅਬਾਊਟ ਡਿਸਰਿਸਪੈਕਟਿੰਗ ਯੂ
ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਡਿਸਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਪਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਨਵਾਂ ਆਈਡੀਆ ਹੈ ਤੇਰੇ ਪ੍ਰਾਹੁਣੇ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ
or he doesn't mind because ਉਹ ਆਪਦੇ ਕੰਮ 'ਚ ਬਿਜ਼ੀ ਆ ਬੱਚੇ ਆਪਦੇ ਦੇ ਸੈਲਫ ਰਿਲਾਇੰਟ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਦਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਰੱਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਓਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਜੈਸੇ 10 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ I was still helping them they still like needed lifts you know the courses and things I've done all of that ਉਹ ਆਪੇ ਆਪਦੀ ਗੱਡੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਆਪੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਹੁਣ they don't need me there 24/7 ਹੁਣ ਆਪਣਾ ਹੁਣ ਮੇਰਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਆਇਆ you know say my time is here now I want to honor it
ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਲਾਈਕ ਕਰਦੀ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਘਰ ਹੈ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾਵੋ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਮਿਸ ਕਰਨਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ
that's what it is ਇਹੀ ਨਾ ਅਸਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਘਰ ਆ you ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਰਹਾਂ but I know ਸੱਚੀ
ਆਪਾਂ ਲਾਈਕ ਕਰਦੇ ਡਰਾਮੇ ਵੀ ਕਦੀ ਕਦੀ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਇਕੱਠੀਆਂ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ
ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰਿਕਾਰਡ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਕਰੋ ਫਿਰ it doesn't mean that ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮੈਂ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਚਲ ਜੂੰਗੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਪਰਵਾਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰੂੰਗੀ I still have my we'll do things together
and ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੇਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੋਦਰ ਕਰਨੀ ਤਾਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਵੱਲ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਾਂ ਪਰ ਮੇਰੇ 'ਚ ਹਿੰਮਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ
ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੱਚੀ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ I know ਤੁਸੀਂ you never want to see me waste my life ਮੈਂ ਅੰਦਰ ਉਦਾਸ ਰਵਾਂ just to keep you happy you know I know you wouldn't want that from me and I also know ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਜਾਣਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਅੱਛੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਗਿਫਟਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਲੋਕਾਂ
ਮੇਰੇ ਗਿਫਟ ਮੇਰੀ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ
ਹੈਗੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪ you always in denial
ਮੈਂ ਦਾਲ ਸਬਜ਼ੀ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਘਰ ਸੰਭਾਲ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹੋਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਈ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਆ
ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਕਮ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ
ਮੇਰੀ ਸੱਚੀ
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹੈਗੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਮਾਹੌਲ 'ਚ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਨ ਲਾਈਨਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਸਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਇਟਸ ਅ ਵੈਰੀ ਗੁੱਡ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਯੂ ਕੈਨ ਰਾਈਟ ਅਬਾਊਟ ਦਿਸ ਆਈ ਕੈਨ ਹੈਲਪ ਯੂ ਟੂ ਫਾਈਂਡ ਅ ਪੈਸ਼ਨ ਦੈਟ ਯੂ ਕੈਨ ਪਰਸਿਊ
ਸੱਚੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੁਝ ਲਿਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ I can send you to a course training and we can do lots of things together and I know you know and I know Paji won't mind if he lets you go ਤੇਰੀ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਏਦਾਂ ਹੋ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਰੋਣ ਲੱਗਿਆ
ਮੈਂ ਹੈਰਾਨ ਆ ਵੀ ਸੱਚੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਏਜ ਕੀ ਆ ਮੇਰੀ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ 60 ਤੋਂ
age has got nothing to do with ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੱਲ ਮਤਲਬ
ਮੈਂ ਚੰਗੀ ਲੱਗੇਗੀ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਉਠਾਉਂਦੀ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਨਾਲ ਕਹਿਤਾ ਵੀ ਤੂੰ ਵੀ ਜਾਇਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਜਾਏਂਗੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਬੈਗ ਪਾ ਕੇ
always school bags is दोनों जाके टिफिन लेके but another thing ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੋਗਾ why don't you start see I know ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਦੇ bother ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਗੱਡੀ ਚਲਾਉਣ ਨੂੰ ਸਿੱਖਣਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੱਡੀ driving lessons ਲਓ and ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋ what will happen when you start taking driving lessons you won't have to be the passenger all your life you can be in the driving seat and I've been a passenger all my life you've been a passenger but we never took the driving seat in our life to pursue what we want to do
ਮੈਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਇਸ ਉਮਰ 'ਚ
anybody can do it age has got nothing to do with this is there's somebody ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਦੋਂ ਭੇਜਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਭੇਜਿਆ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਹੇਲੀ ਨੂੰ ਭੇਜਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ that an 89-year-old man he just got his PhD 89 ਉਮਰ ਸੀ ਉਹਦੀ
PhD ਕੀ ਆ
ਹਾਏ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਾ ਦੂੰਗੀ
ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਹੋਇਆ
yes but look 89 you know it's going to come to 100 but it doesn't stop him what we try to say that ਜਿੰਨਾ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ will do something new or we learn something new as we stimulate our mind and then this is where we don't have problems like you know dementia or Alzheimer's because the more we learn things all part of the brain stays healthy or cells or they multiply and they grow and they stay healthy but as soon as we start living in the mundane sort of ਉਹੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਵਾਰ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਣਾ stay in that little world of your own and not getting out and exploring ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ
ਪਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਫਿਰ ਲੋਕ ਕੀ ਕਹੋਗੇ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣ ਚੱਲੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੱਸੂਗੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫਿਕਰ ਸੀਗਾ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੂੰ ਵੀ ਜਾਇਆ
shall I tell you what's going to happen ਲੋਕ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਗੇ
ਦੱਸੋ
there'll be other ladies just like you thinking ਜੇ ਇਹ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੰਨੇ
ਲੱਗਦਾ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੋਊਗਾ
I know ਹੋਗਾ 100% ਹੋਗਾ 100-200% ਹੋਗਾ
ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਦੇਖੂਗਾ ਇਦਾਂ
you know ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੱਡੀ 'ਚ ਬੈਠੋਗੇ ਨਾ
मैं सारे सहेलियां गुरुद्वारे वाले ने कहना आज वो मैं मेरी गड्डी च मेरी मैं ले जानी थानू
देखो but you know what ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਣਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਡਰਾਈਵਿੰਗ ਇੰਸਟ੍ਰਕਟਰ ਤੇ ਚੰਗੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਪੈਸੇ ਬਣ ਜਾਣੇ
ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਕੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਤਾਂ ਸੀਗੀ ਅੰਦਰ ਜੋਸ਼ ਹੁਣ ਮੇਰੇ ਚ ਵੀ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਬਣ ਲੱਗੀ ਆ
see this is what happens if one person starts and start embracing their passion it has a ripple effect ਮੇਰੇ ਹੋਇਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਣ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਹੇਲੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ it just carry on
ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਡਰਦੀ ਆ
ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਡਰਦੇ ਨਾ
ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਰੂੰਗੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਉਮਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਦੱਸਦੀ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਜਾਣਾ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਨ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਜੈਲਸੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਕਿ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾਣਾ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਮੈਂ ਘਰ ਬੈਠੀ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਕਦੇ ਦਾਲ ਬਣਾ ਲਈ ਕਦੇ ਸਬਜ਼ੀ ਬਣਾ ਲਈ ਕਦੇ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਕੂਚਾ ਕਾਚੀ ਕਰ ਲਈ ਕਦੇ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਸਫਾਈ ਕਰ ਲਈ ਪਰ ਮੇਰੀ ਤਾਂ ਦਿਹਾੜੀ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਡਰਾਮਾ ਦੇਖ ਲੈ ਬਸ ਮੇਰਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਲੰਘ ਗਿਆ ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਮਝਾਇਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਇਹ ਮੇਰੀ ਕਿ ਮਾੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਚਿਗਿਆੜਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਨਾ ਅੰਦਰ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਕੁਝ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਹਾਂ
I know you can and think like I can help you ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰੂੰਗੀ ਮੈਂ I find a lady car
ਸੱਚੀ ਮੇਰੀ
ਹਾਂ lady ਗੱਡੀ
ਜੇ ਨਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਫਿਰ ਦੇਖ ਲੈ
ਡਰਾਈਵਿੰਗ ਇੰਸਟ੍ਰਕਟਰ lady ਹੋਗੀ ਥੋੜੀ ਏਜ ਦੀ ਹੋਗੀ I know somebody right she'll help you ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਸਮਝਾਉਗੀ ਕਿ there's no age that at this age ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੇ and any freedom any you feel this sense of liberation that ਪਹਿਲਾਂ you always had to be waiting and half of the time ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪਾਜੀ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੜਾਈ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ because you hate late ਆਂਦਾ ਸੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ time ਕਿਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ you don't like waiting and I know you don't like waiting for anyone you won't have that problem anymore ਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਡਰਾਈਵਰ ਸੀਟ 'ਚ ਹੋਗੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਊਗਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੋ ਮਰਜੀ ਫਰੀ ਜਾਓ ਸ਼ਾਪਿੰਗ ਜਾਓ and ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਛੱਡ ਦਿਆ ਕਰੋ ਨਾਲੇ ਚੱਕ ਲਿਆ ਕਰੋ ਇਕੱਠੀਆਂ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ
ਅੱਛਾ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਸਿਖਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਗੱਡੀ ਹੁਣ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ
but no it'd be nice I'll be so happy to see you that ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਦੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ you won't be dependent on one ਉਹ ਆਓਗੇ ਕਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ I know you don't like waiting I've noticed that about you ਖਿੱਚ ਛੁੱਟ ਦਿਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆ ਟਾਈਮ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਪਰਵਾਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਹ ਲੜਾਈ ਕਲੇਸ਼ ਮੁੱਕ ਜੂਗਾ
ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਆ
ਸੱਚੀ
ਪਰ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਨ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਸੀਗਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਗੱਲ ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਨ ਐਨ ਪਿਘਲੇ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਹਾਂ ਬਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਸੋਚ ਸਕਦੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਵੀ ਪਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਵੀ ਸੋਚ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਸੋ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਫॉर दैट
ਚਲ ਮੈਂ ਜਾਉਂ ਜਨਵਰੀ ਯੂਨੀ ਚਲ ਜਾਓ
ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੀ ਬੈਗ ਪੈਕ ਕਰ ਲਈ So we hope you really enjoyed our play in terms of inspiring people no matter what your age and pursuing passions and part of what we're talking about is like real life and yeah so it's just showed us that we can do it and do it in a way that's inspiring but also loving, caring, compassionate and accepting each other regardless of our relationship and understanding and where it's coming from a place of well I want to do this but I can also help you. So that's where we want to be where we're supporting each other because when Lajo first told Pammi about this Pammi was just insecure, jealous, envious because Lajo's doing stuff with her life and Pammi feels like she's stuck in a rut, not got anywhere to do but through what her learning and her doing something she's passionate about I'm also getting a new experience of something I can actually do. So it's a win-win situation but it's only if it was explored in that way.
So what we're coming back to what the event was about that we with the help of I always feel like inspiring God and everything that he got the right people to send the message out there. It doesn't matter what your age, what your circumstances, what your your lifestyle, whatever, that we are here to be the role model that people that you can also do what we're doing. You can also pursue your dreams and passions and your art and your whatever you're so in love with. Don't let the society or to prevent you, people's judgments or criticisms, don't let them prevent you from really, fully enjoying what you're so happy about. And that's what happened at the event.
And I think sometimes we don't realise that God has given all of us a gift, one gift each. And sometimes it takes time to discover or find out what that gift is even. And through trial and error, we can find out, well, actually, this is what makes me feel more alive, makes me feel happier, makes me feel like, yeah, I really want to get up in the morning. And sometimes it can be a struggle to even find out what that passion is or that commitment or the goal is. But if you keep going and keep trying different things, at some point you will find out. It may not happen straight away, it may happen, I mean, you know, look at the age that we're at, doing what we do, which we love and we're passionate about it. We find so much joy in what we're doing, and because this is us sharing our unique gift of coaching, which has now led to this. So we really hope that we've inspired you to do something that actually makes your life more joyful, deep and meaningful. So thank you so much for watching.
So media, that you enjoyed the Love, Laugh, Live chat show, and we'll have more interesting episodes to come. We've got some beautiful topics lined up. So we'll speak to you next week.
Take care and goodbye. God bless.